I want to ask you now about the national government of national unity now. As someone who has been in politics for so long and is still, a member of the biggest party in the GNU, why do you believe that this GNU is akin to giving power to white people, as you previously stated?
I've been writing about this since for years. When I was minister and when I was premier, the deal we struck in 1994 was unfortunate, in the sense that it left the economy in white hands and gave blacks empty political power. And the foundation of any society is the economy, as you know. We have got to eat, we have got to drink. Those are basic things. If the economy does not give you that, if politics does not give you that, it has certainly begun to address the real needs of your people. And this is what this economy is doing. This economy woke up to a statistic which says that 27% of our children under the age of 5 in South Africa are suffering from malnutrition. Those are African children suffering from malnutrition. In South Africa, the richest country apparently on the continent, with the biggest economy. What does that tell you?
So why do you think then, because of those challenges that we're facing, the ANC shouldn't have gone with this option of teaming up with the DA among the other parties in the GNU?
Well, I've not singled out the DA, but the DA is a very interesting phenomenon because it's a relic of the past. It's a ghost that has risen and it has regained power over the years and confidence as we slumber from one failure to another. Now, they represent the past. They oppose anything that suggests change that can alter the balance of power in this country. That's what we are dealing with.
And the ANC says, well, they didn't have any other choice. Other parties were coming up with demands that the ANC couldn't meet. You remember the MK party initially, they said, well, we want President Cyril Ramaphosa to be removed before we can even get into any coalition. You had the EFF saying, if you are bringing the DA on the table, then we're not going to be part of this government of national unity. So the ANC's justification is that what else was open for them? They had an open invitation to work with other party that was interested to form a government to advance the interests of South Africans, and they're saying that's all that they did.
What I've said to Tito, when he was complaining about the GNU, I wrote this written, but that this was planned a long time ago by the regime change forces. They had a strategy. Ellen Zila and de Klerk could predict that after so many years, the ANC would be forced into a coalition with the DA. So they are better prepared than the ANC. And in fact, we are going to see what will happen as we go forward. The DA so-called ministers will form the ANC ministers. And then when that happens, like they're using the Western Cape to say, where we govern better. In the next election, what will happen is the following, not by words. Don't say where we run the ministries better than the ANC ministers. And the media will support them. And they'll kill the ANC without fail.
But then,
just don't happen. And it's happening now, by the way, as I'm speaking.
Yeah. But then, I mean, if really they make a claim like that, one has to just do the simple task of checking if that is true. If indeed they would have outperformed and done better than...
It's going to happen. It will be true because they are better prepared. But the think tanks outside the government, they've been preparing for this phase. We have not been preparing for it. So they will outperform us, not because they are clever or better, but infrastructure which will assist them to succeed.
Yeah. Do you think that there are more people in the ANC that are opposed to this GNU or this current setup? And if so, have they raised their discontent and were they listened to? Because ultimately, as the ANC, you have to take collective responsibility for this decision to be part of the GNU.
Look, at the end of the day, decisions are taken by the majority, and we all must abide by that. And none of us should do anything, in fact, to undermine those decisions. But that does not mean we cannot express views and opinions about our own assessment of the situation, because we'll be disingenuous for this revolution.
Speaking of Tito Mboweni, someone that you were very close to, you've spoken to him, the late former minister, a lot, and he has shared with you how he feels about the GNU. As you said, during the time when he was complaining, these are the conversations you used to have with him. How fiercely opposed was he to this setup as well, and what exactly was he concerned about?
He used the words to say, I'm quoting what he wrote and is quoted in the Sunday Times. He says, the DA is governing the country. Then see better be disabused about this reality. That's his words. I'm quoting, and it's not me. That's what people say.
Yeah, and I mean, that was quite a lot, what he said. And this is a message he sent to you in June, which said, and I quote, just to reiterate what you said, good morning, I said it on Sunday, and I'm going to say it again. The DA is the ruling party, and Cupcake is a front. Live with it, ANC members. Ziyakhala kwamlungu village, end quote. What did he mean by this message? What did you understand him to mean?
My response was that what I've just said now, I've seen it. I am quoting, I've seen it. And we're responding to an advert. It was Ellen Zina speaking there, which prompted Tito to say the things he was saying.
Yeah.
And then I was saying, I've seen that TV app. And then that they planned it for a long time. And they are more ready than us to get into the GNU.
Do you agree with that perception that the DA is the one in charge, and to use Mboweni's word here, Cupcake is a front?
At his funeral, I referred to very difficult conversations between me and him. We may not have agreed in terms of the wording of certain things, but the essence was the same.
What does that say about President Cyril Ramaphosa? I mean, do you think he is a front? Do you think he's a leader that is strong enough and is aware of the consequences of this decision that's been taken to team up with this party that you say has long prepared for the demise of the ANC?
This was long time coming. It happens during the time of President Ramaphosa. It could have happened under any other president, but there's been a historic decline of the ANC, which is occasioned in the main by the fact that we are not able to resolve the basic question that the National Democratic Revolution had to resolve. That is the empowerment of the black people in this country, educationally and economically.
But then isn't that what the ANC has failed to do over the last 30 years? I mean, is it fair to say the President Cyril Ramaphosa's administration is the one that has failed?
My words are very well chosen. It has been long coming. It happened at this point in time. Culminate. This is a culmination of a decline in the popularity of the ANC vis-a-vis our people.
If if some within the ANC saw what you saw that was coming, in that the DA has been planning to, at some point, get into a coalition like this with the ANC and orchestrate its demise from within. If really you and other people saw this coming, what does that say about the ANC's failure to plan better and to know what to do to respond to that plan if indeed, as you say, it's legitimate?
We take collective responsibility. I can't claim to be a non-actor or a non-eater leader of the ANC over this year. So I'm part of the guilty cohorts. The clerk says, one of his comments, he says, I see, and he uses the words, I see. I see when they then see the left leaving the NC and the right moving to the end toward the DA, collaborating. I see this and that. And so precise, on the spot. These things are alive with us if you check the clips that some of us have got. Okay. He uses those words. He was very clear. He was like a prophet.
Advocate Ramatlhodi, thank you so much for making time for us on Face the Nation tonight, and all the best with your new responsibilities as the Prime Minister for the Bapedi Nation. After